This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Quick. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what is popping with you? You know, Microsoft did an update and it's like it reset everything. So when I went to get started, everything was reset. And so I had to do all this legwork just to get started. In 5 minutes, I had to try to get all this stuff done. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. And the Knicks got the win. Travel Vibe said 2 minutes, 5 minutes ago. I get it, bro. I understand. I know it's not my fault this time. I promise you that. It's not my fault. Microsoft and their updates. Anyway, the Knicks get a good win versus the Indiana Pacers tonight. They needed to get this win after getting smacked around by the Boston Celtics the way that they did. Right? I mean, they got super smacked around against the Boston Celtics. The Knicks come out tonight, 128 points. They give up 115, but they score 128 points versus the Indiana Pacers. They look pretty good tonight. Even though Jalen Brunson didn't have his best game, in foul trouble, the Knicks looked pretty good. This is the type of game, if we can win versus the Atlanta Hawks in the same fashion, this is the type of game that you can take into the All-Star break and you can feel really confident about your team and the trajectory of the team, right? The type of wins we need going into an All-Star break, should I say, not just the All-Star weekend, but an All-Star break where we can really get some guys some rest. 35-18, the Knicks are on the season, 3.5 games behind the Boston Celtics, 8 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Going to be very tough to catch the Cavaliers, who are 43-10 on the season, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be hard to catch the Cavs. All right, the Knicks are 8-2 in their last 10 games. So they're playing good basketball. The Celtics loss was a tough one, and it brought up a lot of questions about the Knicks and if they can actually compete with the top teams and all of that stuff. And I think those questions are still there, no doubt. In my mind, those questions are still there. But we'll take the win tonight. The Knicks are 24-11 in the conference, 9-2 in the division, 18-10 at home, 17-8 on the road, 2-0 in overtime. But the Knicks dominate this game for the most part. It was a close first quarter, I guess. But the Knicks jumped out to a 10-point lead, I think, at some point in the first half. It was an 8-point lead at halftime, 68-60. The Knicks finally, really, really jumped out to a big lead in the second half and then, just rolled away with the rest of the game. The number 4 Indiana Pacers, that is, right? So the Knicks are 5.5 games above the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference. So this was a good game for the Knicks, right? This. Greg, I understand that. See, Greg, if you listen, I said Atlanta. I said we have to play Atlanta. We take care of Atlanta, then we go into the All-Star break. You got it. Greg, you have to listen. Pay attention to details, Greg. Pay attention to details, right? That's what Tom Thibodeau hollers about the players and the team. Got to pay attention to details. Greg doesn't pay attention to a lot of details, Dig what I'm saying? Anyway, the Knicks play Atlanta tomorrow, Greg. Greg is my man, ladies and gentlemen. That's my guy. I like Greg. As much as he antagonizes me, I like Greg. I've never met him in person. I've never heard his voice. But I like Greg. I'm waiting for Greg to call in. He's scared to call in. I keep trying to tell Greg to call in, but he won't call in. You know? It is what it is. It is what it is. Greg, if you get a chance, call in. Talk to us. You know? Anyway. Yeah, Kevin, I know. He won't call. Greg, he said he hopes at the next event. He said he hopes to meet me at the next event. I hope so. I hope so. Let's take a look at the box score tonight for the Knicks. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were led in scoring by Karl Anthony Towns. 40 points by Cat tonight. Right? A lot of worry over Cat and, some of his injuries. His thumb, his knee, leg, whatever it was. Worry about Cat. Not tonight. Cat looked really good tonight. Now, the Indiana Pacers aren't really a big team. They're not a great defensive team. But, Cat looked good. 40 points, 12 rebounds for Cat, 5 assists, a beautiful assist to Josh Hart. Look away pass in the first half to Josh Hart. That was a beautiful assist. And he had to fake behind the back first before he even led the break. And then Josh Hart, 30 points tonight. 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for Josh Hart. Deuce McBride had 15. Landry Shamet had 11. Campaign played some really good minutes with Brunson in foul trouble. 9 points, 8 assists for Campaign. Precious had 9 points, 12 rebounds. Bridges only 6 points tonight. All right, only 6 points tonight for Mikal Bridges. Jalen Brunson, 8 points, 7 assists. Was 4 for 11 from the field. He was in foul trouble. 5 personal fouls for Brunson, but they didn't need him tonight. You know what I mean? Didn't need Brunson tonight, because other guys picked up the slack. You know what I mean? And let's hope this can continue, after we play the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night, Greg, and we go into the All-Star break, that it can continue, that our bench gets deeper by guys getting better. That's the only way it's going to get deeper. You know what I mean? Great minutes from Campaign. 23 minutes, 4 for 8 from the field. Again, 9 points, 8 assists for Campaign. Led the charge for the Knicks tonight in the second half when Brunson went out with foul trouble. 128-115. Knicks. The Indiana Pacers were led in scoring by Pascal Siakam, 24 points, 5 rebounds. Thomas Bryant had 18 points, 9 rebounds. Benedict Mathurin had 18 points. Tyrese Halliburton had 16 points and 8 assists. 8 points for Andrew Nembhard. But the Knicks run away with the basketball game tonight. I want to know what you guys think, man. Give me a call, 516-362-5212. I want to know what you think about the game. How you feel about the game. All right, my man Greg. Sim, I hope you keep it real on Brunson's selfish play tonight with so many turnovers and forcing his shots and didn't look for his teammates until late in the fourth quarter. I mean, Brunson, listen, maybe, Greg, you might not have been around. We've talked about Brunson, me and Tony. We've talked about Brunson and, him having some selfish moments or, dribble moments. We've talked about that. You know what I mean? We definitely talked about it. Listen, Brunson is learning. I know you're going to say, you're making an excuse for him. Brunson is learning how to be the guy, the leader on the team. Brunson is our only one-on-one guy on this team, right? That, you're going to give the ball to break down the defense. He's the only one. Karl Anthony Towns can get past a guy out on the perimeter. right? But you're not giving it to him out on the perimeter, having him face up and bang, bang off the dribble and go to the. That's not basically what he's going to do. All right, so Brunson is the only guy that really goes off the dribble and creates off the dribble for himself and for others. So, yeah, there's going to be periods and stages of Brunson dribbling a lot. That's going to happen. He's got to figure out the balance. You know what I mean? He's got to figure out the balance. There's no doubt. I'm not going to hide it. He's got to figure out the balance. He'll figure out the balance. I'm positive of that. He'll figure out the balance. He's smart. He's a good player. He's not a selfish player. As Greg would want you to believe. He's not a selfish player. Right? But right now, his role is to be the finisher. Right? That's his role on his basketball team, to be the finisher. His role on his basketball team is to get a bucket when other people can't get a bucket. His role on his basketball team is to be the one-on-one guy. Right? That's who Brunson is on this basketball team. And so, there's going to be times when he does go one-on-one a lot. There's going to be times, it's going to happen. And he's got to figure out the balance. JJ from Brooklyn, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Yo, Sim, what's good, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty
What's
good,
going
man.
on, man?
Feeling pretty good. I apologize. I'm adjusting the sound, ladies and gentlemen. I know, like I said, Microsoft did an update, and so things are kind of all over the place because things just kind of reset. So apologize for that, but we're getting it together. Yeah, JJ.
No doubt. Yeah, man, listen, big time bounce back win. You see Brunson picking up the silly fouls, his fifth early in the third. He's saying, oh, boy, right? But give the guys credit. Cat, Hart, just dominating the paint. I mean, Hart, one-man fast break. Cat just abusing these little guys. I mean, give those guys credit. I know they had no Miles Turner. That's their prime shot blocker, but no excuses. We don't have our shot blocker. We didn't have OG, so, no excuse.
Oh yeah, right. No excuse there. I mean, we're down players too, we're down two players, two really good defensive players. Mitch has been down all season. We're down OG, so
Right.
I don't care who they don't have.
I mean, that was super impressive. I mean, that Cat dunk on the sideline. I was like, oh no, he's gonna step out of bounds. I was just like, no, you did not just do that. That was crazy.
Right. Tippy toed the sideline.
Oh.
And caught a dunk from behind the backboard. Like that was nuts.
Jeez.
That was nuts. That was crazy.
That was wild. I was like, you trying to get in that dunk contest or something?
He was in a dunk contest before, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah.
You might be right, actually.
I think he was in a dunk contest one year. I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right about that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I did get nervous. If you remember, I forget what quarter, but he got fouled, I guess, on the finger, and you can see he was in pain, and so it's always going to be there. Unfortunately, I think this season, so.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to tough it out, right? What can you do at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So.
We have a break coming up, so that's nice.
Right. I actually wanted to ask you, considering right now, I think what do we have, a 5 or 5.5 game lead over Indiana for the that third spot, which is nice. That's a nice cushion.
5.5 game lead, yeah.
5.5, right? So would there come a point where you're like, kind of maybe you sacrifice a game here and there, like an OG, a Mitch, even when he gets back, a Cat, like maybe a back-to-back, because I think we're pretty solidified in that 3 spot. I don't think we're catching, Cleveland or Boston. I would say no. I know we're kind of close, but I think they'll get it together. So would there come a time where you're like, okay, maybe you sit this guy this game, this guy the next game, like something like that, or no?
Depends on who we're playing. You know what I mean? Depends on who we're playing. Listen, Knicks have a 5.5 game lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that can swing fast. The Knicks
It
lose
could.
two. The Knicks lose 2 in a row, and Indiana wins 2 in a row. I mean, they gain two. They
Yeah.
gain 2 games right there. You know what I mean?
Right,
That can swing
Mm-hmm.
really fast. One losing streak, and that can swing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's the scary thing
Yeah.
about that. And
Right.
we can still catch Boston,
True. Yeah.
right?
True.
We can still
True.
catch Boston.
Yeah.
We're just 3.5 games behind Boston, so we can catch them. 2.5 games behind Boston,
True.
right? So we can still catch
True.
Boston. Well, I doubt we're catching Cleveland, but we can still catch Boston
Yeah.
for that
Right.
second seed.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. No doubt. Yeah, I was just curious. You say I feel you.
Because
Yeah, I can't question
we're
that.
at 53 games, 54 games. So coming back off a break, we'll have 28 games left
Mm-hmm.
after break. 28 games left after break.
Yeah.
For at least 20 of those games, it's going to be contentious, right? Really, really fighting for playoff positioning, or to establish yourself in a spot in the playoffs. And then those last 8 games is going to depend. If you're securely in the 3rd spot, can't catch Boston, can't catch Cleveland.
Right. Right.
And maybe that comes down to really the last 4 games or something like that. Yeah, I got
So
a feeling the Knicks would be.
that's where you would say maybe you sit one guy here, one guy the next game. Right. I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
with
right.
4 games left, you could be secure in a spot, or you could still be battling
Right.
to get to that second seed.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know,
It's not impossible.
the
Yeah.
Knicks have 2 games left versus
Yeah.
Boston
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to prove to ourselves that we can beat that team.
We do. Even if we just get one, you don't want to go say we meet in the playoffs and it's like, oh, this team, they swept us. They beat us every game by 25.
Yeah.
You
right.
just won't have that. You got to get one. You got to, and then we play Cleveland, a bunch coming up. So, like you were saying earlier, those are the tests. Is this a good win? Absolutely. Especially with Brunson in foul trouble. They've been playing pretty good, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good win. But like you were saying, the tests, the true tests are, Boston
And Cleveland.
and Cleveland.
Those are the tests right there. Boston,
Those
Cleveland. We got to prove that we can beat those teams.
Exactly.
Because you got to go through those teams to get to. I mean, being in the 3rd seed, you got to beat one of those teams to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
So being the 3rd seed, would there be a route where we could kind of get the easier route and not have to play both? Like, is there a way where they would play each other before we had to play both of them?
No.
Like how that works?
No, there isn't a way. If you're the 3rd seed, the only
No,
way,
right?
the only way is if one of those teams gets knocked out early. But if you're the 3rd seed, you're probably playing one of those teams. If you're the 3rd seed, you're probably playing Cleveland in the second round. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're probably playing Boston in the second round. And the 4th seed, if they win, is probably playing Cleveland in the second round.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If we stay in the 3rd seed, if we stay 1, 2, and 3, Cleveland 1, Boston 2, the Knicks 3. Or let's say we go, seeding, I just seen someone say seeding is not going to matter. It's probably not going to matter if we're 2nd or 3rd seed. Because either way, we're probably playing Boston in the second round.
Right.
Right? If we're the 2nd seed and Boston's the 3rd seed, then we'll be playing Boston, but we'll have home court advantage.
Yeah, but we would be home, right?
If we're in the 3rd seed, we'd play Boston, but they'd have home court advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind they'd be having home court.
So
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We may be destined to play Boston in this in the second round.
Yeah, it looks like
we got to figure out how to beat them. We got to figure out how to beat them. Now, Greg says, not if we drop the fourth. Now, that's true, not if we drop the fourth. But I'm not playing those type of games. Oh, let's lose so we can be in the fourth seed. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm trying to win basketball games.
Yeah, I feel like when you do things like that, karma gets you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, let's get the easier route, or you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot in every sport.
Yeah.
You try and lose to get a certain matchup.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're not trying to do that. You know, I mean, you've got to, you know, you got to beat the teams that's there. And if we're messing around trying to, you know what I mean, trying to, oh yeah, we're gonna get the fourth seed so we can play this team or that team. Nah, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good at all. I think, you know, that'd be a big mistake to do that.
Yeah. And then one question, and then I'll let you go. Appreciate you taking the call.
Yeah.
How concerned are you kind of still? I know the bench showed up. Deuce was big tonight, hitting some threes. But how concerned are you just kind of with the score? And, like, even when we're fully healthy, let's say Precious, Mitch, Deuce, Payne, whoever's playing the three, like, how concerned are you just with the scoring being kind of, sporadic?
The scoring.
Like, there's not many go-to guys there.
Oh, you mean not many go-to guys on the Knicks? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like offensively. I like the group defensively. If you have Precious, Mitch, Deuce, I mean, I think that's a very good defensive squad.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like the bucket scoring, like, there's not much there.
I mean, it's Brunson. You know what I mean? But I do think that we have enough weapons with OG and Bridges and Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, obviously. You know, I do feel like we have enough weapons to score the basketball. Now, you know, I guess the fear is with people when you get down to those crunch time minutes, you know, and the defense is tight and people are grabbing and holding and the refs aren't blowing the whistle. Do you have the guys that can go get you a bucket? I guess we'll find out. Right? Guys are going to have to step up. We're going to figure that out. Guys got to step up.
Right.
And do it. I mean, we know Brunson can, but that's going to be a big toll on Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a big toll on him. You know, are we going to expect him to drop 40 every game like we did last year in the playoffs? I don't think that's going to be good. You know what I mean? You know, we got to figure out some other ways. I think, you know, you've seen tonight, you know, Tony was talking about this the other day, you know, letting Karl Anthony Towns kind of create from the mid post, you know, catch cutters going to the basket, those type of things. You know, I think we can expand the offense doing that. We've seen some of it tonight, you know, and I think we can do that more often. I think Mikal Bridges has shown the ability to go get a bucket every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you let him create a little bit. See what he can do.
Right.
You know, we got to find ways. Tom Thibodeau's got to find ways to use the guy's strengths in those situations.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, because there's going to come a time when we just can't rely on the kicking out and swinging and finding the guy in the corner. And, you know, we got to do some other things. But Tom Thibodeau's got to really look at the strength of his players and then figure out how to utilize the strength of his players.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I guess in a way, Brunson being in foul trouble, considering we're on that back-to-back tomorrow night, maybe it was a good thing. It worked out, you know, be a little more fresh.
Well, so, that's true. That's true.
You know, it actually worked out. We got the win, and his minutes were very low, so it should be more fresh on that back-to-back. So
Yeah. You know, nice win going down the stretch. I know some people are, you know, I've seen some people in the chat, you know, talking about, you know, how late the guys were in the game down the stretch and so on. You know, but I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? But you know, we play the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow, then we get a break. Well, we get like a week break, something like that. We get a break.
Yeah, about a week.
You we be ready for the stretch run.
Yep, let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, Sim. Thanks so much,
Appreciate you,
man.
bro.
Thanks for taking the call.
No doubt. Peace. Have a good one.
Take it easy, man. Peace.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's JJ from Brooklyn. Oh, I accidentally called him back. JJ from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And now we got my brother here, Tony Crone in the building. You know what I'm saying?
What's good, Sim?
I'm chilling, man. Chilling. Nice to get a win, a nice win tonight
Yes,
over the Pacers after catching the L against the Boston Celtics.
Yes, sir. Boost that morale, bring that morale back up.
You know what I mean? And now, if we can, we can beat the Hawks, go into going to the break with a 2-game win streak. You know what I mean? It's feeling good. But I was just talking with JJ, and I didn't realize this when we did the last show, when we had just played the Celtics, but the Knicks are on a collision course to play the Celtics in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
They're on a collision course because if they both stay 2 or 3, they're going to meet in the second round. And one
Either
team,
way, yep.
Either the Boston Celtics will have home court advantage or the Knicks will have home court advantage. The only way that doesn't happen is if the Knicks or the Celtics move to number 1 and the other team stays at 3, or the Knicks or the Celtics move to number 4 and the other team stays at 3. It's the only way.
I mean,
Or
it
3 or
is
2,
what it is.
I don't see either one of the Knicks or the Celtics dropping to the 4th seed.
To me, that's a good thing, though, Sim. To be honest, I know, we want to meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals, but to me, what's the difference, right?
Right, you got to beat them at some point.
You got to beat them.
Beat them at some point.
You got to beat them, right? And then what it would do for our confidence if we beat them early,
right?
You know what I mean?
So, people would want to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals to say that we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? And we got farther along, but you got to beat them at some point.
Yeah, and it'd be more gratifying to beat them to get there.
You got to beat them at some point, and then you're gonna have to probably go through the Cleveland Cavaliers too. You know what I mean? Two very tough teams in the Eastern Conference. I still think we can beat the Cavs. I mean, I'm not sure about Boston. You know what I'm saying? I got to see something. I don't care if we lose. I got to see something in the game that tells me we can beat them, and I just haven't seen it yet over 2 games. Against Cleveland, I seen it. Right? I seen against Cleveland, like, oh, yeah, we can beat them. We should have won the first game that we played against them. I haven't seen it against Boston yet. I'm not saying we can't beat them, but I haven't seen it. We got 2 more games against them. You know what I mean? I got to get one of them.
I agree.
Got to get one of them. To prove to themselves and to the fans.
I think we could avoid getting swept though. You know what I mean? That's why I wouldn't say we can't beat them. I don't know if we could beat them in a series right now. You know what I mean? But I think we could get a game.
I'm trying to beat them. I'm trying to win it. I'm trying to beat them.
But it's not based off of anything I've seen so far. It's based off of the fact that we haven't played our best against them, and true. I don't think it's because of them.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So that's what's telling me like if they smack us and we playing our best, you know what I mean. That's then I'll be like, oh man, there's nothing we can do though. You know what I mean? But
yeah, Kevin said there's no team in the East that's unbeatable. No, I mean no, but it's 2 teams that are very, very, very hard to beat. They may not be unbeatable, but they're really hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? Really hard to beat. It's not going to be easy. And there is no easy path for the Knicks. I don't see an easy path or an easier path. As the 3rd seed, you're going to play the 6th seed, whoever that's going to be. Right now, that's the Pistons. And guess what? We have not fared well against the Detroit Pistons this year. Not saying we can't beat them, but we haven't fared well against them.
and that's the other thing I was gonna say, Sam. I'm not worried about playing Boston in the second round because we gotta beat whoever's in the first
Whoever's in
round.
the first round.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Tibbs. Well, first of all, I was one of the people. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Cat had a terrific game tonight. I was one of the people that said, "Yo, rest him through the All-Star break." You know what I mean? I wouldn't even mind him sitting through the All-Star break, not playing in the All-Star game. Like I said, once you are announced as that All-Star, that's it. The accolade doesn't get removed.
Yeah, it's not removed.
If you don't play. So, but two things. He played well. He didn't look like he looked in the Boston game at all. You know what I mean? Like the Boston game, he looked hobbled. He looked like he couldn't jump. So that's mind-boggling to me, considering the Boston game was off of multi-days rest. And I would have thought he would have been questionable, probable, one of those things. He wasn't even on the injury report. So it's like, oh, it just cleared up or whatever. But Tibbs, he says, he wants these guys not thinking about going into the break. They not mentally in the break before the break. You know what I mean? He wants them to play these games, win these games.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, even though as much as I want these guys rested and to stay healthy, and it's like I still gotta respect his mindset. You know what I mean? Like, he want to win everything. You know what I mean? He don't want to take the foot off the gas. It's still learning.
Yeah.
It's still, you know what I mean? Like, if we would have beat Boston, maybe he would have thought differently.
I don't think he would.
No, I know, but I'm saying being a parameter game, like to see where you are. You know what I mean? But once we lost to Boston, I'm like, yo, he's like, nah, there's work to be done. We gotta learn. Yeah. We gotta get better.
And the thing is, sitting one of your best players sends a message that, all right, we're mailing these 2 games in. Even though, I don't know, I don't think the players would think that way. But subconsciously, it kind of sends that message. All right, we're mailing these ones in. We're going into the break. We're on break already. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like, no, we're going to play through the break. You get a break. You about to get a break. You're about to get a vacation. Go to the Maldives or something like that and chill and then come back. I'm thinking about going to the Maldives, though. That's the reason why I said that, because I'm thinking about it. I seen some, we could talk about that offline. You know what I mean?
Well, nah, and then if you can't sit him and then he play in the All-Star game, because that looks bad too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I you know what I mean? It is what it is. And if we would have sat him, considering, Brunson having a subpar game, probably would have been an L. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I'm saying? So right. And where we are, we need all of these. We need the wins. Right? You needed to beat Indiana, because if Indiana beat us, instead of us being 5.5 games above them, we're now 4.5 games above them. They inch closer to that 3rd seed, they inch closer to that 3rd seed. And we fall, we inch closer to falling to the 4th seed. You know what I mean? I think the mentality of win at all costs is what Tom Thibodeau's trying to implement into the team. So I dig that. You know what I mean? And I think that's the right mentality to have. Greg, this guy. Greg said, Tony, that he's trying to meet at the next event. I can't wait. Because we're gonna have the mics there and all of that, and we're gonna make Greg speak.
He's gonna have his own segment.
His own segment. You know what I mean? His own segment. What you think about tonight's game, though?
I mean, like I said, first thing jumps out. Cat was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like he's closer to himself. You know what I mean? I love the fact that he played in the post tonight and was effective. I think the Knicks had like 60 plus points in the post tonight.
Yeah, 68 points in the paint.
68, yeah. So, that stood out. The fact that we could win one with Brunson having a subpar game is also a great sign. Hart with the 30-10 game. You know what I mean? Who didn't somebody say Josh Hart can't score 30?
Probably Greg, but
Somebody in the chat
probably
say
Greg.
oh, but yeah, 30-10 game. But yeah, the fact that we can win it with Brunson having a subpar game, the fact that Cat looked the way he looked tonight, all great signs going into the all one more game and then the All-Star break.
Yeah, one more game, then All-Star break. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, out rebound the Indiana Pacers 48-36. It makes sense that they would dominate the glass with Miles Turner not playing tonight. You know, the Knicks were just bigger tonight. 37 assists from the Knicks tonight. That's a lot of assists. Pacers had 32. The Knicks had 37 assists. 6 steals for the Knicks, 2 blocks, 14 turnovers. They shot 53.8% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, 87% from the free throw line. They had 68 points in the paint over the Indiana Pacers, 58 points in the paint, 19 second chance points for the Knicks. The Knicks had 20 fast break points to the Pacers, 18. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, Nico Black. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Said, good evening, my brothers and Knicks family. Good evening to you. You know what I mean? Good evening to you. Good Knicks win tonight. And ironically, we see Celtics green up here on the screen. And we're talking about them Boston Celtics. You know, campaign tonight, Tony. Played a really, really good game. You know what I mean? Played a really, really good game tonight.
I'll be honest. I was in and out watching the game. Obviously, I'm working, but so I missed. I didn't really see anything from him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but shout out to him. I did see Shamit hit a couple of shots tonight and have some decent minutes. That's another good showing, especially if you know what I mean, if he's going to continue to be a part of this process.
Yeah, Shamit was 5 for 9 tonight from the field.
So yeah, I did notice that. So good job for him. Let's get some consistency closing this year out.
Yeah,
maybe after the All-Star break, couple more practices and time. You know what I mean. We'll start to see some things, but we're also going to be implementing, Mitch, which I think is also, we don't know how seamless that is going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
True. So is is Mitch coming back after the All-Star break?
They got him in March, so
I mean, March is here. It's 2 weeks
away.
away. So 2 weeks away. I mean, you know how Tibbs is. Get in shape. You got to get in shape.
It don't really matter because there's no trade opportunity.
Yeah, there's no trade opportunity. I mean, but
and I was like, all right, whatever he comes,
I mean, but you want to, like to get him in so he can get some reps with the team. You know what I mean? Before playoffs.
I agree 100%. I'm sure he'll get some game time, but the one good thing is, he's going through the ringer in practice before he sees game time.
Yeah. So
like he still got to, once he gets through every other hurdle, he still got to pass the eye test from.
Yeah.
Tibbs.
I mean, yeah. And then. You can go through all of that in practice and everything. You still got to get in game shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that first game, you're going to be winded. You know what I'm saying? Your wind has left your body. You know what I mean? After a couple of games, your wind is up. Your legs. It's just a different intensity in the game. You know what I'm saying? Just a different intensity. So, yeah. Hopefully by the end of March, let's say, he's ready. He's going full speed. See, and then we really hitting the stretch run, March, April. You know what I mean? And April, May's playoffs. So, hopefully, he's hitting that stretch run at that point in time. Be nice to see him back out there on the floor. We'll see we'll see, but
I'm intrigued by what is the most. What lineup is he gonna be in the most? Like that's what I want to see. You know what I mean? Like what's gonna be the best lineup for him?
yeah, I don't know. That's going to be intriguing to see. You know what I'm saying? What it really looks like for him. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the coaching staff has an idea of how they want to use them and where they want to use them. Now you got to see, does it work? And then you got to make a few adjustments. Let's just hope the defense gets better. That adds to the offense and makes us a different team.
Do you remember if Indiana they used zone in the last 2 games against us? Because we busted that zone
I mean,
tonight.
the last 2. You mean previous to this? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming they did because it seemed like we was just ready for prepared
I mean,
for
the
it.
Knicks have a team that should be able to break zones open. With shooting on the outside, and you got a guy in cat that can pass from the elbow, and he can penetrate from the elbow, and he can knock down the mid-range jump shot, and he can knock down the 3. Right? So the Knicks have the type of team that should be able to just kill zones easy.
That's what it looked like tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they have that type of team. They should be able to just bust zones out. Yeah. And the Knicks swept Indiana tonight, right? Tonight completed the sweep, right? They don't play them again,
they said we lost to them.
We did lose to them?
The last time we was live,
I guess
we was
maybe we
talking
did.
about this game.
Yeah.
So I think we only played them 3 times. I think it's 2-1.
Okay. For some reason, I thought we had won the first one, but
I thought we did too, but in the chat
I
last time,
I remember in the chat. For some reason, I thought we had beat them twice, but
because remember we was talking about the Halliburton 0-point game.
Yeah.
With the losers lounge.
But either way, even if it was 1-1, the Knicks win the season series over them.
Absolutely.
So now it's time to get into talking about the season series stuff, because we're really moving down the stretch of the playoffs, heading to the playoffs. So the Knicks win the season series over the Indiana Pacers, right? Which, if things stay the way that they are, won't matter much. But if one of these teams go on a losing streak, or the Pacers go on a run and the Knicks go on a losing streak, it could matter. Right now, the Knicks are down 2-0 to the Boston Celtics in the series. Can we tie up the series? We'll see. I mean, we know we play them twice more. Tying up the season series with the Celtics is going to be tough, but I'm holding out. Saying that we get the next one. That's the one I want to get, because the last one could possibly be a game that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the next one. You know what I'm saying? We get the next one. Yeah, hold on, caller, 1 second. We get the next one, right? And then the last one, we kind of figure out where we at. You know what I mean? See how things are. So, yeah. So the Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 123-98. The first game, they lost the second one 132-121. Yep. Coming down the stretch of the season. All right, so we're moving down the stretch of the season. The Knicks play the Cleveland Cavaliers 3 times. They play the Cavaliers on February 21st on ESPN. They play the Cavs on April 2nd, and they play the Cavs on April 11th. Okay, here's the thing about those games. I don't know how much those games are going to tell us, especially the April 11th game. That's, the second to the last game of the season. On April 2nd, I mean, Cleveland might have run away with it
Or they
at
may
that
not
point. You
have,
know,
and those games may be meaningful.
it could be.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think, yeah,
But you know,
and they may want to play spoiler. You know what I mean? And not sit guys or whatever the case, in case the seeding means something for us, and not, you know what I mean. The game may mean more for us than them.
yeah.
God forbid, it may keep us at the 3rd seed instead of the 4th, or whatever the case. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be.
Let me tell you the stretch that the Knicks would need to win. Then I'm gonna get to the call. Let me tell you the stretch the Knicks need to win. February 21st and February 23rd. They play Cleveland on February 21st. They play Boston on February 23rd. This is a statement weekend. Friday, February 21st, Sunday, February 23rd. That's a statement weekend for the Knicks. Beat Cleveland, beat Boston. Make a statement. And that's just less than 2 weeks away. Yeah, we got to make a statement with those 2 games, I feel like. To ourselves. Forget about everybody else. To ourselves, we need to make a statement. Get those 2 wins. And then cruise out the rest of the season. Let me get to the call. Caller, you live, man. Name me where you're from, please.
Yo, salute, Sam. Salute, Tony. Hey, yo, this is your boy, Lord Scientist. Sam, I've been following you for at least 5 years, my G.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'm legally blind. And Steph, Queen, salute to the Queen, Stephanie. Listen, my G, I'm legally blind.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I be trying to have my children, either my daughter or my son, type in the text messages, like, the messages on your show.
Okay.
I don't like how YouTube don't give me the updates on you, because I've been with you for a minute, my G. But I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Again, my name is Lord Scientist. Tony Crow, I'll be following you as well. But let's get down to the Knicks. Yo, Dig, everything you just said recently, like the statement wins, the 21st and the 23rd, I am 100% in agreement. And I believe we're going to be able to do that, because I believe Mitch is going to be back. Because Mitch, I don't know if both of y'all know, Mitch was saying on his IG, I think it is, from what I heard, that he going to be back for Boston. So apparently he wasn't back for this Boston. So I believe what he means is he's going to be back for the next Boston.
Okay.
And he amped, you know what I mean? I got a friend of mine who his cousin works with the Knicks, like doing the towel boy kind of thing.
All right.
And he be at their practices and whatnot. And he been saying they're not really truly reporting how good Mitch is doing. They kind of trying to keep it in-house, you know what I mean? And me speaking on it, I guess I'm putting it out there, but I'm not trying to. But Mitch is ready. They just trying to make sure he's 100%. And he got a chip on his shoulder, because he's been anxious ever since, everything happened with what Embiid did, what have you. A lot of points that you, Sim, and Tony Crow be making, yo, son, I'll be 100% in agreement. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I value how y'all, especially you, Sim, because you're a coach, so you see things with a coach's eye. You know what I'm saying? And as a player, a person who knows how to play the game, I value what you be saying, and I value how Tony Crow be evaluating things as well. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
as
that,
far as
bro.
Uncle Fulio just be out there jumping out the window. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Uncle Fulio and his positions. Sometimes he be valid, but at the same time, yo, listen, I don't know how the rest of the Knicks fans, you know what I'm saying, just to let you know, I'm 53. I'm about to be 54 in March.
All right.
I've been a Knicks fan all my life. Well, I was 2 years old in 1973 when we won our last championship. So me, I've been on the Knicks my whole life. I done met Steph when he was young back in '89. Him and Skip the Malou.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen a few things, been a few places. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, I've ridden the wave that we were forced to ride since Allen Houston and Sprewell tried to
Right.
bring us back to glory when we was the eighth seed in the early 2099. So I see something different about this team. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the hate that they're giving to Tibbs. Tibbs don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs has been working with everything that's been dealt with him. And now Tibbs got a collective set of dudes that seem like they're bought in. You know what I mean? Um, Everybody talking the crap that they talking about, you know, the Block Ness monster, um, Mitch, you know what I'm saying? But everybody is like, they forget that the only reason why Mitch went through what he went through is because of how Embiid did what he did dirty, which in my opinion, back in the day, Embiid would have been suspended for that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Excuse me for cursing. My bad. But yeah, everything that you saying, son, you, Sam, because as a coach and the coach's eye view that you have, yo, son, I agree with you 100%.
Appreciate
I
that.
can't type in the text, like I said, because of my sight.
Mm-hmm.
You will see me as either King Scientist or Lord Scientist. I don't spell it like how everybody else spell it. I spell it Sintis, scientist.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, son. I'm from
Yes,
Flatbush.
sir.
And I dig everything you doing. I've been riding with you. And yeah, I agree, son. We getting ready to make some noise. Right after this little all-star
Little
break,
All-Star break. We get
and a
some
lot of
rest.
hating and stuff is getting ready to happen, but it don't matter. We getting ready to do what we do. As far as Cleveland, we gonna make a statement. Like once we bust Cleveland up, we gonna bust them up again as the season proceeds. But go ahead, cause my
Yeah.
5-year-old's coming. Go ahead.
All right. Now I appreciate you. Hey, you know what you do when you go on the checking out the YouTube, when you're on the YouTube, go hit the subscribe button again. Right. You might need to unsubscribe and resubscribe, and then just make sure you click all videos. Right. All.
Well, listen, I've been like,
yeah.
listen, that's the crazy thing. Dig this, Sim. I got two accounts. I got my Lord Scientist. I got my King Scientist.
Mm-hmm.
My 12-year-old helped me to subscribe. I've been subscribed to you for the longest. But, you know, since you made the move that you made where you're not doing the commercials and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like they don't want to give me the notifications. And even Queen Steph told me that she be having them issues. Like I be on Dope Soul Sports, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man. Damn, I hate that I forget some name, but shout out to my man Jay Boogie. Yeah, salute, Jay Boogie, because I know you're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be listening. Salute to JJ, because I be liking JJ's positions. JJ sound like an honest fan, so you know what I mean. I like what he says. I like what he sees. Sometimes I understand that he may not have the basketball IQ because, like, you know, I used to play ball, you know what I'm saying? And I understand the fundamentals of the game. The ball moves faster than our feet move. So when the ball ain't moving, then that's why we have issues. But, yeah, son, go ahead, talk, and I can chime in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hold the call up too long, but at the same time, I do want to chime in. So go ahead, build.
I appreciate you, bro. I definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Lord Scientist, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he's gonna, he'll be back, calling back soon. I don't know, man. Those games right there, I think are important. Those are big ones. That stretch. Cavs, Celtics, 21st, 23rd of this month. We need to soup up. We need to be ready for that.
I'll tell you one thing. I really believe what he said about Mitch, man, because it's something about how quickly Tibbs has been responding recently when asked about Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, not ready yet, not ready yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to get away from answering any specifics. Did he do any practice? Yeah, he did a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to brush past it. But earlier in the month, he said his conditioning is great. like that was like the first statement that he came out and said. It was like Mitch's conditioning is great, and I'm like, well, how great can you test his conditioning if he's not practicing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that would be the other than in the game, that would be the main way you could tell
Yeah.
how his conditioning is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I believe they trying to be extra safe, and that was the word. You know, early in the year they trying to be extra precautionary. So
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No, I mean, and you have to. We know it's injury history. You got to. You know what I mean? Call you live. Name me where you're from, please.
Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling. How about you?
I'm awesome, man. I've been following you for a little bit over a year, taking a look at you guys, and I'm gonna be honest, like out of a lot of the different Nick podcasts out there, you guys definitely have like a real wholesome type of product out there. So I appreciate y'all. Shouts out to you.
I
I'm from
appreciate
Brooklyn,
that.
Brownsville, Williams and Hinsdale.
Okay.
But I've been in the South for a minute, so if you're hearing that accent, that's what that is. But
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can definitely hear it.
yeah. Yeah, Miami. So but straight up, like I wanted to say a few things because a lot of times I think as fans we jump the gun and we get so anxious for what we want and we don't realize that it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like we were tripping so much about Tibbs and the minutes and all of that. But when you look at what we had, everybody was hurt or knickknacks, little stuff like that. So as far as the rotation goes, I think we're going to be on point. I mean, when everybody comes back. Now the Celtics and the Cavs, I want to talk about them real quick. Like the Cavs, I'm gonna tell you, like in my opinion, I know they've gotten better, but I don't believe that they're ready. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that they're ready to beat us. Last year they couldn't beat us. They couldn't show that they could beat us in the series last year. And I'm just feeling like I know that they've improved. Now they got Hunter from Atlanta, but I just don't see that they're gritty enough. And I don't believe Mitchell. I don't believe Donovan Mitchell down the line is going to be able to do what he needs to do in order to win that series. So what has to happen, and I hope it does, is if we can catch, like if Boston can catch the Cavs and we can go ahead and get, stay in the third seed and they go up to the first and the second, that's what I'm hoping happens. Because if that happens, then I feel like we can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying?
So basically,
if we stay, a lot of people saying it. Go ahead, bro.
You're saying if we stay in the third seed, Boston jumps to the number 1 seed. We stay in the third seed, then we would play Cleveland in the second round.
Yeah, that needs to happen. Straight up. Because
I mean, I think we could beat Cleveland.
If we
too.
can get go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think we could beat Cleveland too. But go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think we could beat Cleveland. I don't feel like they're a superior team. This team is not anything close to what it really is going to be. We've seen shades of it, but it's not. We have not had consistent players on the court. We haven't had consistent look at what Towns did against the Celtics. Jalen Brunson came out in that game, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but he was not as aggressive as he needed to be. Nobody else was hitting shots. Your boy came out there, and he was lighting us up. At that point, you're either 1 or 2, Jalen. You got to go ahead and go. Towns is struggling. So that type of stuff is the things that happens in a regular season game. So when you're trying to make a beat on what your team is going to be, you got to wait, get some continuity. When Mitchell comes back, they're talking about the defense. I'm telling you right now, the defense is going to completely change. And people saying Karl Anthony Towns and Mitch can't play together and spacing and this and that. The problem was we had Mitch and Julius and Josh Hart. Now when you put in Bridges and OG Anunoby and you got Mitchell screening and rolling with Cat, what you think is getting ready to happen? It's going to still be open. Yeah, Mitch is going to slow it down a little bit, but it's still going to be an open court. And then you're going to see Mitch going for lobs, all this different type of stuff, energy. It's a lot of things that are getting ready to happen with the Knicks down the stretch that, it's about to be a party. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest, we're probably not ready, but you never know what might happen.
Okay. I'm really with you on the Mitch and Cat thing, though. I feel like they can play together.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I do. I feel like they can play together. I feel like because Cat can stretch the floor as well as he can, and then you got 4 other players out there, 3 other players out there that can shoot. And Mitch, he stretches the
Cat
floor.
is not soft. It's not that he's soft defensively. Cat is not soft defensively. The problem is that Cat doesn't have the awareness defensively. So a lot of times he's not thinking, this guy's about to blow by me. Let me move my feet. Let me slide him. By that time, the guy's already got position and leverage on him, and then he fouls. So it's more of a mindset thing with him. But when Mitch comes into the play, now you got him more on the perimeter, and then you got to mix these minutes up, and that's something I think Tibbs is going to get better at. Tibbs is a beast, and anybody want to hate on Tibbs, you got to stop it, because production is the only thing that matters. And if you look at what he's done in the NBA, that's all. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. Now you put together a team in New York City with Jalen Brunson and Cat. Get a man a shot to get a chip. Back up. Sometimes the stuff is just ridiculous.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but I'm gonna start calling in more often, bro, because this show is fire. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I appreciate that, brother.
Hey,
we looking
great
forward
call,
to it.
bro.
We looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear more.
Oh yeah,
from
you have a good one, bro.
You too. Peace.
Hey, Sim, if we was doing call of the night, it'd be a tough one considering the calls you're getting tonight, man.
Yeah, it'd be a tough one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people getting mad at Sean, hang up on this dude. Why? Because he don't agree with you about Tibbs? Sean? That's why? Because he don't agree with you about Tibbs. Now, but listen, I really agree about Karl Anthony Towns and Mitch. I do feel like they can play together. You know what I mean? I feel like they can play together. And then you look at the length that you have on the floor, talking about defensively, my goodness.
Towns might be our best lob threat passer.
He could be. You know what I'm saying?
He might unlock the lob. Like, we've been begging, like, yo, why Mitch don't get, he should get like 2-3 lobs a game. Right? And that hasn't been the case.
I mean, but Mitch stretches the floor because of the lob threat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when Mitch and Brunson or whoever, when Mitch is rolling to the basket, the defense is forced to collapse. Now Brunson can find shooters out there in the corner and on the wings. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, OG, McCall. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think they can play together. And I think it really just does change the way things look defensively with this team if Mitch is out there. If Mitch is out there with Cat. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how it's going to be used. Looking forward to that. It's going to be, we'll have a month. If he comes back in March, we'll have a month and a half to really get it together. You know what I mean? And get the team, get the team with some continuity. But it can happen. It can happen. Corey from Rochester, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, Scoop? Tone, how y'all doing, man?
I'm not sure how I got the name Scoop, but I'll take it.
Probably because you're like the man who like to scoop up the details after when the game is over, whether the Knicks win or lose.
Okay, I got you on that. I'm with it.
Yeah, that's how I probably feel the name Scoop for you. But no disrespect.
Scoop. Nah, I don't take it as disrespect.
So, you want to know about how I feel about the game tonight?
How you feel about the game tonight? How you feel about what's coming up with the Knicks in the future? You know what I'm saying?
How I feel about the
we got 2 big games coming up late February. Cleveland and Boston. You know what I'm saying? February 21st, Cleveland. February 23rd, Boston. That's 2 big games. Statement games the Knicks got to make. But how you feel? How you feel about Mitch coming back after the break, sometime after the break? How that's going to look?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk to me.
How I feel about Mitch coming back?
Start there.
I feel very, very optimistic. You know, I know he's been out for a good portion of the season, but I like the way that the medical trainers and his rehabs that he's been going through has been doing very well, because see, that's the mistake. Last time when he got injured, they were rushing him back. So it's very smart this time that they're taking more precaution of him trying to take his time to come back. So hopefully it don't be no further bad injuries going on, because I know he loves to play with this team, and I love him to be healthy too. And if he could do that with the bench unit coming back second half of the season, watch out. Because, you know, that rim protection that he's doing, that shot blocking, you know, that's his hungry meal, that feast block. Like, pow, pow. Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to it, though, Scoop. Looking forward to it. But just hopefully he just takes it one day at a time, and just hopefully he just remembers how to just be careful, how, you know, he kind of keeps his body in good condition.
Yeah. And I think the Knicks are taking every precaution to make sure that he's, you know, stays healthy.
Oh yeah, because very important.
Every precaution.
Because that's going to be the key, man. If we could keep him healthy, especially keep OG healthy, which he has been this season. You know, OG has played a good portion, so we can't feel upset with that. If those two guys could stay healthy during the rest of the season, playoffs are going to be, Lord, going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
And nobody ain't going to want to mess with us, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you, nobody do not going to want to mess with us. There ain't going to be no baby layups, none of that.
Yeah.
He's going to make them players rush his shot very, very bad to make sure you're going to get an easy score on him. Oh, no. It's going to be double worrying time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, let's see what it looks like, man. Talk to me about those two games, Cleveland and Boston, coming up February 21st, February 23rd.
Oh, yeah. We still need to get back. But I want my get back more on Boston more than I do on Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's more my revenge way. I want more on Boston than I do on Cleveland. But, you know, don't take away from Cleveland what they done. But I was really more who we got at that last week, but due to the injury and how the way the Knicks came out, I said no. Boston was playing more like they wanted more because, you know, they was coming off a crazy loss against Dallas.
Right. They got smacked around by Dallas. Yeah.
But what did you think about that trade when they traded Luka for AD? What did you think about that trade, Scoop?
It was wild. I don't know. It was crazy. It's a crazy trade. It's crazy. We were live. We were live when it went down. We was live when it went down, and we were like, "Yo, what is this? What's happening right now?" You know what I'm saying? And everybody thought Shams got hacked and all kinds of wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was a crazy trade. I think Dallas is still going to be good. I think Los Angeles did it so that he can be the face of the Lakers for the future.
Well, yeah. But to me, man, AD, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, yo, this dude's coming off a abdominal strain injury, and as soon as you finally make your debut, now you get injured again with a lower injury. Come on, AD, man.
That's what he does, man. It's been like that his
Just
entire career.
too injury prone.
It's been like that his entire career.
You can't even. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said it's been like that his entire career.
Right. He just doesn't have no kind of no kind of health stamina to at least play more than at least to go at least about 50 or 60 games in a row. He has not done that yet, and that's not good.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you.
I'm glad the Knicks didn't go after him.
I mean, few years back before they got, before RJ and Julius and everybody came, that, they thought they was getting him. Or they were going to try to get him, whatever. People thought he was coming to the Knicks. He went to the Lakers. Want to chip with the
No,
Lakers?
I would be like, no, don't do it. Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to remember, because teams and basketball association operators look at your history of your career. Now, we ain't going for no injury-prone players, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
We could handle that with the players we got already.
Yeah, you're right about that. Corey, I appreciate the time, man.
You know that, baby.
No doubt. Peace.
No doubt. Peace.
Yeah. Player of the game, Tony, who's your player of the game?
KAT.
Gotta be. I mean,
Big
you could make an argument for Josh Hart too.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Karl Anthony Towns dominated the game for the most part. He dominated the basketball game. You know what I mean? Inside, outside, assists. He played a hell of a basketball game. Karl Anthony Towns for me too, player of the game. Next game, Hawks tomorrow night. How you feel about it?
I mean, they're not the same Hawks, but it's not about the Hawks. It's about us. Can we come and focus? You know what I mean? Same mentality. It's not the break yet. We got business before the break.
Right.
Take care of business. I think we'll be fine.
I think that's got to be the message and is the message, you know what I'm saying, in the locker room, right? The Knicks right now, 35-18. They beat the Hawks. They beat 36-18. The Hawks right now, 4-6 in their last 10, but they have won 3 in a row. Currently 26-28 on the season. You know, we need to take care of business. The game is, what's today? What's tomorrow? The 12th. The game is at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. And Cleveland, I mean, that's more reason, you know, Trey's motivated that team to play at the Garden. You know, the team overall, Atlanta has, I don't want to say nothing to play for, but they done offloaded their vets, you know what I mean? Like they obviously are on a rebuilding trajectory or retooling, I'll say, because they obviously still got Trey, but there's no pressure on them. You know what I mean? They get to play free.
Right.
The rest of this year is, I think it's fine whichever direction the season ends up playing out. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like championship aspirations or goals, and I'm sure another high draft pick would help them just as much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they get to play free for the rest of the year with no external or internal pressure.
Yeah.
Dangerous is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, Knicks got to take care of business, get this win tomorrow, and then go into the break. You know, that's the goal. But my goal right now is to get to the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So look for the notification. We're jumping over to the Losers Lounge. The Knicks get the win tonight. Much needed win, 128-115 over the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, we're going to talk about how those Pacers fans feel. I don't like the Pacers at all. Catch you at the Losers Lounge, folks. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.